Social proof is described as a psychological phenomenon where people assume the actions of others in an attempt to reflect correct behavior in a given situation, which basically means it's easier to get more subscribers when you already have a larger number of subscribers. Someone's much more likely to subscribe to a channel with 10,000 subscribers than a channel with 10 subscribers. And so, whilst our primary goal is always getting clients and customers, increasing your subscriber number does help increase social proof, which can then help you get more clients and customers as a result. So, let's start by answering the question, should you ever buy subscribers? Or views either, for that matter? As there's no shortage of sites that are promising to sell you cheap views and subscribers. But even if we overlook the fact that this is against the YouTube rules and so you could get caught out and penalized, or more likely the subs and views will get removed, it's still a bad idea. Because they're not real people, they're bots. And so typically with bot views, they will have a very low watch time, which as we know from earlier in the course, that causes the algorithm to conclude it's not a video worth recommended much. And a smaller number of real views, but with significantly higher retention rates and engagement, is going to be better than 50,000 views, but the views are all 10 seconds long. So if you do want to buy views, so to speak, you can run legitimate YouTube ads, which we'll get to later in the course, or run paid promotions on other websites and channels, because then it'll be real people watching who may subscribe and watch more of your future videos for free. This is also effective because if you get the video seen by your ideal audience, the algorithm kind of realizes, oh, these are the kind of people that like this video, let's show it to more people like this. Whereas with fake views, unless your ideal audience is a click farm, then it's not very helpful at all. So investing money in legitimate promotion can be good sometimes, but buying fake views tends to lead to a lot more harm than good, at least in the long term. It's a similar story with buying subscribers or doing sub for sub. Those subscribers won't actually watch your videos, which leads to a terrible sub to view ratio and bad click-through rate, which then again sends all the wrong signals to YouTube. So think back to that first module about what the algorithm's looking for. So instead, I'm going to introduce you to two much better strategies for building an audience from scratch that can be used in conjunction with all the other strategies in this course to help get you lots of subscribers as quickly as possible. And the first of these is the comment strategy, or more specifically, what I think of as the comment strategy 2.0, because it's an improved version on what some other people are recommending. Because you may already be familiar with the premise of commenting on other people's videos to help attract new people to your own channel. But there's a right and a wrong way to do this. And so I'm going to share the best practices, as this strategy was how I got most of my first 100 subscribers when I first started out on YouTube and had no audience whatsoever. So first things first. Commenting on other channels, especially channels in a very similar niche to you, is a great way to increase the exposure of your channel, as some people will click through to your channel from the comments. The wrong way to do this is just pure self-promotion, where you spam the comments like, oh, I made a video like this, come and check it out. Not only is that against the YouTube rules, the creator of the video isn't gonna like that and so may even mark your comment as spam so it won't get shown. Instead, try to leave valuable comments that are relevant to the video. Something interesting, something funny that's related, or just adding your own perspective and expertise to the topic. All of those things will give you the highest chance of getting one of the top comments with most visibility, and then as a result, more viewers are going to click through to your channel. Because remember, if you're commenting on a channel in a similar niche, there's a very high chance that the viewers of the channel you're on would like your content as well. But for this to work most effectively, it's much better for you to have a channel name that very clearly suggests you have a YouTube channel and not just a personal account. For example, a comment from Jack's Productivity Hacks is going to get more clicks than a comment from Jack Smith, because people may not realize that the user even had a channel worth clicking on in that case. And I should point out as well here, obviously a lot of people don't even click on the profiles of people who comment. But I assure you, enough people do for this to be worthwhile. Once you start leaving lots of comments in different channels in your niche, people will start to notice the same name popping up again and again, and as a result, they'll be much more likely to check your channel out. Now, as I said, this is the comment strategy 2.0. So here are the 3 best ways of leaving comments after lots of different testing and trial and error. Number 1 is you want to turn on notifications for the big channels in your niche, and then go and leave a comment as soon as you get a notification of a new upload. This is because it's so much easier to get the top comments if you post a comment very early on, right after the video goes live. I've done this a few times and just left a dumb joke or an interesting quote or fact within the first 10 minutes of a video being posted, and then if it gets a few likes in those first 10 minutes or so, there's a high chance it will stay at the top of the comment section. For big channels, you can even leave a couple of comments all at once to boost your odds that at least one of them gets some likes and gets pushed to the top. And look at what type of comments typically do best on that channel, and you'll get a flavor of what the audience likes, and you can try and accommodate that. Because if you can get top comment on a really popular video by getting in early, that can definitely give you some exposure for your channel and get more people clicking through to your channel. The second way of using this strategy is that it works very effectively for small channels in your own niche. But this is a little different. The timing matters far less here, as those channels don't get many comments. So all you need to do is leave a very encouraging comment for these small channels and creators within your niche. And I guarantee you a large amount of those creators will then go and check out your channel. Because put yourself in their shoes. If they hardly get any comments on their videos and someone comes along and says something like, "Oh, awesome job, man. Best of luck with your channel," you're going to really appreciate that and probably go and see who commented it. And when that creator sees you have a YouTube channel, especially a channel in a similar niche to them, there's a very high chance they're going to subscribe to you. I know personally I subscribed to a fair few people who commented something thoughtful on my channel at the beginning because it meant a lot to me and I was curious to check their channel out as well. This also allows you to make connections with other new creators in your niche, which can be a very positive thing in many ways, whether that's friendships, advice, collaborations, or anything else. But the third way of using this strategy is go to the comment section of a big creator, but instead of creating a new comment, like we said earlier, reply to comments other people have left. So if they ask a question, try to help them and answer it. If you agree with their comment, just tell them. They'll then get a notification of your reply normally, and if your channel name and profile picture is interesting, they'll likely check it out. Most people don't get many replies on their YouTube comments, so this can be a good way to draw attention to your channel in a positive way. I know for me still, if someone replies to my comment and I get a notification of it, I'll quite often check their channel out. So those are the 3 best ways of using this comment strategy. Once you get past 1,000 subscribers, I think your time is perhaps spent better elsewhere. But until then, there's no reason not to be allocating time to go and leave comments to help new people find your channel. After all, it's pretty quick and easy to go and leave some comments. Plus, if the comments are good, and especially if they're on popular videos, they can be bringing you highly targeted new traffic for a long time to come. So it's also worth getting into the habit of when you're watching videos in your personal time rather than when you're working on your channel, still be thinking of how you can leave a comment, what would make sense to comment on this video. Because if you do this enough, it will undoubtedly help some new people discover your videos. But now let's move on to the second strategy. And I've never actually heard anyone talk about this, yet I think it's incredibly powerful. And I call it the subscription strategy. So, by default, who you subscribe to on YouTube is private and nobody can see who you're subscribed to. But I recommend keeping your personal YouTube subscriptions on a separate personal YouTube account and then making your subscriptions on your channel account public. You can do this by clicking on your profile picture in the top right corner of the YouTube homepage, selecting settings from the drop-down list, and then on the next page, just click privacy and there'll be a setting to toggle called keep all my subscriptions private. And you want to turn that setting off for your channel. The next part of this strategy is where the magic happens. Now that your subscriptions are public, when you subscribe to someone, they will get a notification of this. Unless they've manually turned that setting off, which is very rare. But when they get that notification, it will have a link to your channel on it. And if they click that, it'll take them to your channel. Now, this isn't a psychology course, so we're not going to get into the specifics. But here's the headline. If someone gets a notification that you've subscribed to them, reciprocity bias will often kick in and they'll subscribe back. At the very least, they'll be extremely intrigued to go and check out your channel, especially if your channel name is interesting and or it implies that it's a YouTube channel and not a personal account like we mentioned earlier. But right now you might be thinking, isn't this a little bit like sub for sub, which we said not to do? But no, it's fundamentally different for a few key reasons. Number one, it's not an obligation where they have to subscribe back to you. And obviously, not everyone will. It's more like you're waving a flag that says, hey, I'm here. And then whenever they subscribe, it's entirely down to them and how well you've optimized your channel. It's not a trick. It's just a way of raising awareness of your channel in a way that's much more efficient, ethical, and faster than sub for sub. Number two, people who sub for sub are unlikely to watch your future videos, which causes the problems. But in this case, for a subscription strategy, they are going to subconsciously like you as you've subscribed to them, and they want to check out your content. After all, they chose to subscribe to you of their own free will. There wasn't anything dodgy going down. So they are likely to watch your future videos and check out your content and be a real subscriber. It's a real person. So it's very different in that way as well. But the third point, and here's the real beauty we haven't mentioned yet. We're not just going to be spamming random people with this. We're going to be using it to help our ideal audience, our perfect avatar that we designed earlier, find our channel. And so unlike sub for sub, this is going to be incredibly targeted. And we're only going to be doing this for people who we think are going to enjoy our content and actually want to watch lots of it in the future, as well as potentially buying from us in the future. This can help you attract ideal clients, remember, people who are going to pay high ticket prices for your products and services. So bearing that in mind, who do you actually subscribe to? Well, anyone who you think would genuinely enjoy your content. For example, if you see someone regularly commenting on channels in your niche, they'd probably be great to subscribe to because they clearly watch lots of similar videos, and they're quite likely to, when they check out your channel, become a new commenter on your videos as well. Alternatively, it may be someone who you see asking a basic question on someone's video within your niche, and you can tell from their profile they're someone who's probably going to need help with this topic and may be interested in working from you, or at very least learning from you. It may even be someone with a small channel in your niche. Really, his subscription strategy works for anyone. The only exception is creators who already have a huge channel with loads of subscribers, because they may have turned the notification off about new subscribers, and to them, getting a new subscriber obviously isn't a big deal. The reason this works so well is that for people who don't have channels, or for people who have really, really small channels, then it's rare for them to get this notification. So they will check it out and they will check your channel out. The key thing is, though, we want it to be targeted, so it's someone who seems like they'd enjoy your content. Just subscribing to loads of commenters on gaming channels when you're in the productivity niche obviously is going to have a much lower conversion rate and be much less worthwhile. Whereas if you're subscribing to people who are active within productivity videos, that is very targeted, and they're almost certainly going to like your channel. As of right now, YouTube generally allows you to subscribe to up to 75 new people per day, but I would stay well under that limit anyway, and maybe even go for more like 30 channels a day. Because you gotta remember, even if only 1 in 5 people subscribes back to you, that would still be 5 new subscribers every day who you already know are ideal for your channel because they're interested in the topics you talk about. And so that'd be 35 new subscribers every single week from this strategy. And just to continue the hypothetical maths here, if only 1 in 35 of those subscribers end up wanting to buy your coaching or high-ticket products and services, that'd still be very worth it to be getting 1 new high-ticket client every week from this simple strategy that doesn't even take very long. Because you got to remember, there's no need to spend loads of time on this. You can simply go to big channels in your niche, which you find through the YouTube search and through the comment section on other videos, and subscribe to the people leaving interesting comments and questions. And also, remember that your subscriptions must be public for this to have any impact. However, just to wrap up with this subscription strategy, I would say that once you have over 1,000 subscribers yourself, just like with the common strategy, I think there are better uses for your time then. This is more of a perfect strategy to help build those initial subscribers and start getting social proof and active commenters on your channel. And just to prove how well this works, I want to show you an email someone sent me when I experimented with this. And I wasn't even experimenting with it for long, because once I passed 1,000 subscribers, I started focusing my time more on content rather than growing with these strategies. But let me just show you this email. They emailed out of the blue and said, "You earned a sub with the old subscribe bait and switch. I used this to build up my Instagram up to 2K a while ago. Simple but effective. Haven't seen anyone really doing this with YouTube before." He then asks how I found him and correctly guesses it was from a comment he made on a similar channel, and says, "You couldn't have picked a better targeted audience. I'm currently writing a script for my first YouTube video. So he is literally an ideal potential client who may want to buy from me. Shout out to this person if he's going through this course right now. He wraps the email up by saying to hit him up if I'm interested in collaborating in the future, and a bit of details about the channel he wants to start, which I've blocked out for privacy. But hopefully that just proves how effective this can be at helping your ideal subscribers and future clients find your channel. You essentially find them instead. And obviously, most people won't take the time to email you to say how well the strategy worked, but you'll get the proof you need when your subscribers start ticking up once you start using this strategy. As the guy in the email said, very few people think to do this with YouTube or even know how because they don't know how to turn the setting on. So, to conclude, those two simple strategies, the comment strategy 2.0 and the subscription strategy, are great ways of getting your channel more widely known and growing your subscribers when you're first starting out. And more importantly, growing your subscribers in a very targeted way. However, in the next training, we're going to delve into loads more tips and tricks for growing your channel, and I'm very much looking forward to sharing all of those with you. I'll see you there.